Welcome to African Woman TV. Today we want to talk about allyship with women in politics. And I wouldn't be doing this alone without a man I respect so much. He is a supporter of women in the world where we call it the men's world, where the man is always taking the lead everywhere. There are few men who sometimes see through the eyes of the women and can speak for the women in Nigeria. And the man here is Mr. Lugard. He is the Director General for Nigerian Women Economy Development. It's a privilege having you here, sir.
Thank you very much. The privilege coming to my friend's studio today, being the International Day of Cooperatives. And our focus is also looking at how we can also support women.
Thank you, thank you. I was actually saying, it's rare to see men in a world where we define it as the men's world. Severally we've seen women say to themselves, if you take up the case, the men will always win. Mm-hmm. And sometimes looking at a man who is standing, in support of the women, I'm wondering what gave you that feeling? Could it be, can I trace it back from your upbringing, or how do you have to come up to support women, to stand by women?
Well, it's a very important question coming at a time like this. I'm not surprised at all. We all have these different ways we are wired.
Yeah.
But one thing that stands out in my life is that I grew up in a family of 7.
Okay.
Beside my father and my mother, we have 5 of us. I'm the first child.
Wow.
I'm the only son, the first son.
So, and you have sisters.
I have 4 sisters behind me.
Oh.
So I grew up carrying my younger sisters on my back. I remember carrying the immediate younger to me, the next, and sometimes almost the last born.
Yeah. Now I'm seeing where the support and love for women is coming from.
Coincidentally, when I graduated, the first job I picked up after my NYSC was for me to be a personal assistant to the Commissioner of Women Affairs in Anambra State. That was in 2001, 24 years ago.
Wow.
So that's, in a way, at the family level, I saw myself involving in women issues, girls then.
Yeah.
Now, outside the family level, I now see myself in the larger society working within the women ecosystem. So you can imagine being in that ecosystem for almost 24 years. So what do you expect?
Wow.
So you should expect nothing less than that.
Now, they said that women are quite difficult gender. And they said, it's easier for men to be in a particular room and be peaceful than women. Now, I'm wondering, you being in the midst of this gender that some persons say they are difficult, how do you navigate the challenges that comes with women, and you have been with them for 24 years?
Truly, it's difficult because...
So are you trying to say we're difficult people?
Very, very difficult. I will say this.
I feel like crying now.
For my research, being within the women ecosystem for 24 years is one, and also being within the youth sector for 20 years, I came to realize that there is virtually no strong demarcation between the youth and the women. What just differ is the agenda, maybe when you talk of male youth. But I want to tell you, if you look at the crisis that we see within the youth sector, it's not too different from the women's sector. The only difference is that the youth sector is a bit aggressive because of the Gen Z and the millennials.
Yeah, they are the younger version.
But for the women, it's more of what I would call hypocritical. Because you see, women are very fast to hug themselves, but in that hugging, they are also very fast to stab themselves. Yes, of course. So you see that when you work with women, you think, these people are they are very jovial, they hug themselves, they always like themselves. I like your hair, I like your shoe, you hardly see men say, I like your shoe, I like your shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. But women will always say it. They always like, they always love, and they always hate it. And that is why you find out that the number of women in political position today is still reducing despite a lot of effort. Why? Because women are yet to support women.
Now, could it be, does it have to do with our nature as women? Are we too competitive, or we lack that spirit to tolerate or endure with others? Because of a truth, despite the Women Association, despite the push, despite the group everywhere, we still have very few women in politics. What is the problem? Because to us, we feel that it's the men that don't want to give us the opportunity to be there. The men don't want us to come out. They feel when we come out, we're going to outshine them. When we come out, because naturally, the way we're being wired, women care, they show love. So when we come out, we are not able to cover up the corruption. Now, could it be us thinking against the men, or our problem as our nature as a woman?
Well, I would say it's maybe on one side the way women are wired, that also contributes to it. Again, it's also because of our Nigeria ecosystem. If in the developed world, it's a bit different, because they already have that foundational base.
Yeah.
We grew up in our society where the women have been taught to always respect the men.
The man.
The society we are puts men at a higher advantage than the women. And all those, including patriarchal factors, they all affect. You have religion.
Yeah.
You have tribe.
Culture as well.
Yes, of course, culture. So all these factors, they all interwoven alongside, and it affects the women participation either in politics, in leadership, and also in governance.
Okay. Now let's dive into the topic. Now, allyship with women in politics.
Yeah.
How can women work together, in politics, in government, so that we can be there? How can we make it?
Well, several factors are to be considered. Like in one of our research, we found out that women have the demography. If you look at the demography of Nigeria, we have more women. Women is about 51%, men is about 49%.
Oh.
Yeah. But women are yet to convert their demography to higher political participation, leadership, and governance. Likewise, also the youth. We have youths having almost 70%.
Yeah,
but then the society does not allow that. So if you look at our political ecosystem and structure, it is tilted towards money politics, which is more at the advantage of the men. We are in a society today where for a woman to stand as a guarantor, they will ask the woman, your husband, has he approved of it? Is he aware? If you say he's aware, has he approved it? If he has not approved, then you can't take that decision. We're in a society where a woman can be a director in a ministry. The woman cannot stand as a guarantor, as a shorty, even if he's above the standard. Because they will ask the woman in the police station, have you taken permission? Have you been able to seek your husband's consent?
Yeah.
If not, then she will not be allowed. So these are societal imbalances that are not at the advantage of women. So what I think we should be looking at is look at the problem and find out how do we provide solutions to that. But I said something that one of the key factors is money.
Okay, what do you mean by money? The men have the money more.
Men have the money more. The society allows men to have that. Let me take some religion, some tribes today. Even if a man gives birth to 4 girls and the last born becomes the young boy, you will see how the men celebrate. I don't want to mention tribes here so that I don't feel as if maybe I'm slighting some tribes. They believe that
they feel that the heir, there's somebody taking it up in the family.
And women from such communities believe that if they've not given birth to a male child, their feet is not yet in the house.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So that also affects a lot of things. I grew up in a setting where if the third born is a male, if they are sharing the property of the father, that boy is assumed that is the head of the family, and it takes more in percentage sharing than the girls because they believe that the young girl will go out of the family. I also was giving birth. From my own side, we always tell our young girls when they are getting married, You know, say congratulations, you don't marry. This room where you stay is no more your room. There's no more room for you here again. So the lady or the young girl is allowed to face the world and face the challenges. So today we have a lot of single mothers, single all over.
Yeah.
Because the society has created that imbalance and it affects a lot of things.
Okay, well, because of time,
Yeah.
well, before we wrap up with this segment, now, what do you think? What solution do you think we can prefer as women that can help us align with this man? How?
Yeah.
Can we, what step? Because for me, a lot has been happening, a lot effort, a lot growth. People are saying, you know, get into the social media, you hear some women having a forum, let's fight, let's stand up, it's our time. But at the end of everything, nothing is happening. Can you give us, what step do you think, even if it's one step, that we can take to move further?
Every step that has been taken is in the right direction.
Okay.
And we still need to do more because these are foundational problems.
Yeah, it's not something we can just wake up in the morning and just...
We're in a country where a former president said he doesn't know the political party the wife belongs. But what he knows, the wife belongs to the other kitchen.
Wow, that is derogatory.
Yes, of course. And that is at an international event for that matter. So that tells you the level, where we place the women. And we have some religion where the woman doesn't even sit on the high table where you have the kings.
Yeah.
So when decisions are made, even when it is not favoring the women, it's accepted that that is the decision that is not
to say something.
So all these affects. So number one, what do we need? We need more advocacy to know that the man is not complete without the woman. And the woman is not complete without the man. Number two, we must realize that we are collaborators. Yeah, we are not competitors.
Work together.
We must realize that we are complementers. We are not competitors. Yeah. And that brings me to advise the women that as we begin to preach about women empowerment, gender equality, it's not for you to say we are completely equal because somebody must be the head. Somebody must take the lead. Yeah. So on the part of the men, recognize the fact that you are just a leader by virtue of God's providence that somebody must lead. Yeah. Don't see the woman to be at your back. See the woman to be by your side.
Your support system.
Support system. So I mentioned something, not as competitors, because what we begin to see now, we have feminists now who are not saying, what a man can do, a woman can do better.
We can't keeping quiet.
We can't keeping quiet.
We have to speak.
But when there are some issues come, they say, I beg, come and help me. So those things will definitely arise. So let's see ourselves as complementers. God has created us uniquely in a manner that we need each other. A man cannot carry shy. That's why I blame people today that are talking of gay.
Same gender.
Same gender. How is it possible? Continue the same gender and let's see whether the old generation will not wipe out. So we need the women to give birth, to keep procreating. And there are certain things that the women can do that man can never do. And there are things that men will always do that women can never do. So God has created us for us to need each other at every point in time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Luga. I really enjoyed for the fact that you had to say we as women out there, we should know we're not competitors.
Yes.
We should not try to raise our shoulders. We should see ourselves as workmates. Let's collaborate. Let's
collaborators.
Let's work together. And I think if we apply this method, I believe within myself that we'll move, a step further than normal. That's the end of today's segment. Hope to do more. Thank you.